you mentioned doing a bunch of different projects. I want to do something because I got so many fan questions about certain projects. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I think it might be a fun thing just to go down the list of some films and just get whatever comes to mind. I'm going to say, I was talking to another buddy about this who's done a lot of comedies, and he was just like, I was asking him certain questions just as a fan and a friend, and he was like, man, I haven't thought about that in years. And I go, that's crazy because it's so iconic. And so I want to know, maybe that'll spark some of the same thoughts for you. Either a sentence, or you can or if it's a memory or a story or even one word, or you can say pass. Thank you for your time, Adam. Please do not post this.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. The proposal.
Ryan and I, Ryan and I have known each other since we were prepubescent. I mean, we go way, 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 way back. And we had to do that scene, the naked scene that day. And Ann Fletcher, our director, who's just incredible,
brilliant,
incredible, just so great. So we had a closed set, which means no one's allowed to be on there. Just hair and makeup come in and fluff and hide. And, Ryan and I have these flesh colored things stuck to our privates. My hair's strategically over the nipples, and
perfect.
Ryan's not little at all. It's just whatever's there. And I don't know, because I didn't see it, didn't look, is protected and caressed and stuck in wherever it needs to be stuck. So we're doing it, and we collide together, and we're on the floor. Why are you wet? Why are you, whatever. And why are you naked? And we're lying there, and they have to say cut, but we couldn't really move. So he was on his back with his knees up, and I was sort of on the floor, just sort of resting on his knees like this, just waiting. And you don't want to look. We couldn't really move. And then I hear Ann Fletcher from the darkness go, Ryan, we can see your ball sack. And I'm like, oh God, because you want to look down, don't look down, don't look down. And you're like, should I help? Is there something no, not helping. Not going to help you.
Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah. That just Ann's voice booming that, not gently, but as loud as you possibly can. And, everyone in the darkness spun around to see if they could find a monitor. I was like, Ann, there's a way to present that information. Yeah. So it was just but in friendship, you go, you just didn't care. It wasn't my business to look, it's we just there. And then Ann just bringing everyone's focus to that area. And Ryan was just he was so cool. Just unflappable. He's absolutely unflappable.
There is a way to present that info. It's almost like at the grocery store when some guy comes in looking for Valtrex, and they're like, hey, Jimmy, Valtrex, aisle 6 or 7. And he's like, hey, yeah. I actually don't need it, man. I was just coming for bread. I was joking. You know what I'm saying? You got
gluten-free bread. I want a gluten-free bread.
Yeah, you misheard me. That's a great story. Yeah, that you forget, I guess, just even in those moments, how much planning and prep there is.
It is. And so much, again, what you do for a living, humiliation. I will do this naked scene only if I can be humiliated and funny. You will not see me trying to attempt being sexy naked in real life or on screen. So it's you just go, there's no point. There's just no point in it. So, but it's for that reason, funny. With a friend that you trusted comedically, and safety wise, I knew I was in the presence of safety, and allows you to do, because we were I said, okay, when I slam on you, I'm going to slide down on my cheek, but I'll avoid an area, and but you literally physically have to plan out how you will keep the other person's space safe, and that's hard to come by with people, that you have that sense of camaraderie and safety.
Totally. And it came, it was apparent on screen. And even you just saying that moment when you slid down, but you're trying to avoid, it's thank God you had that trust, because that was such a funny moment of that whole scene, and just added to it. That's a great story. All right. The Net.
You know what? I just remember running all over the streets of San Francisco. I'm just running to a computer and then running somewhere else. I know that there was more to that movie. What I recall is a lot of running to devices. And then people asking me, so this hacker thing, is that real? There's people like that? And I was like, oh yeah. I think I got a taste of the dark web long before the general public did, because we got to interview someone who was that.
Wow.
And it was really we were so innocent and naive at that point, with our little electronics, or they weren't little at that time, but it was just, so that's just and the sweetness of Irwin Winkler, who directed it, who produced Rocky, so you just, I mean, just such a good him and his wife, Margot, the nicest, kindest human beings to an actor that you'll ever want. Just lovers of film, lovers of actors, just like you just felt you were, again, safe, kind people. You got Ryan, you got the Winklers.
Yeah, it still holds up too. While You Were Sleeping. Come on. This is going to be on all the time. This is a holiday classic.
While You Were Sleeping, I'm going to be transparent. And I think I had I don't want to use the word debauchery.
Yes.
But I was sowing some oats.
Okay.
And somehow I always made it to work on time. But the night before, my friends and I would find ourselves, Wednesday night was, salsa night, this one little dive. And then, I was on the back of Ducatis in the middle of the night, flying down freeways to get my car out of Hawk. I mean, the fact that I
finished
I look at that and I go, I know my kids will do what I did.
Yes.
I'm just shocked that I came out unscathed. And I had the best time in Chicago in the middle of winter on that film. I look back and I should hang my head in shame, but I don't.
Good.
I sit up. I sit up when I say that.
That's
I had
awesome.
a good time.
Have you seen that? I mean, Chicago in the wintertime does rule. And I'm sure when you're out there for 2-3 months, right?
Mm-hmm,
Like just,
mm-hmm.
Do you go back and that's such a classic. Have you seen it in a while? Did you watch it?
It is one of the sweet, yes. All the elements. That's John Turteltaub's delicate comedy and emotional hand, the director. He's such an empath, such a sweetheart. So from a comedy world where he understands, like his casting of that was like, if you look at that and you go, and I wanted that film so badly. I had to audition with so many people. Someone else had the role and she couldn't do it. And I remember that audition so vividly because that's one of the few films that I was like, this is meant for me. I can do this. I know what this is about. But I was full on only in that audition phase. And I remember what the room looked like. I remember how small it was, where John was sitting. I remember the wall. I remember the couch. I just wanted it so badly.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't know, again, just from being on the inside that, there are fallouts like that or scheduled things. People are doing other things.
I'd say most films that I've done had someone else's fingerprints on them before. And people love to bring that up. They go, well, how do you feel that such and such was attached? I'm like, grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Because there were things that I was attached to that I should never have done, that I didn't do, that someone else did, that were brilliant because I wasn't in them. You know what I mean? Like I come from the world of things work out in this business, kind of the way they're supposed to, in terms of who plays what role and how things get executed. And it's always been the case with me. I have no regrets. There's nothing that I wish I would have done. Nothing.
Well, I know Meryl Streep was supposed to play the role of LaSoir in The Heat, my role, and I don't know how I beat her out for it. I think
facial hair
was
she could not grow your beard. I mean, Meryl can do a lot of things, but she's authentic. So she said, if I can't grow this beard naturally, I am not doing this role. And this is what we love about Mare. I call her Mare.
We love.
I call her Mare.
I call her Streepy Streep. Yeah, she's got there's just something about her.
She's got no facial hair. So therefore, she did not do your role.
It was a hard pass, but she did have a lot of True Religion jeans.
Oh my gosh, that's right. You wore those.
Remember those? Yeah.
The stitching.
By the way, that was I think that was maybe the first or second thing you said to me, even before you introduced yourself. You were just like, you're just like, wow. Yeah. She goes, that makes sense. You looked at me and you go, those jeans. You go, yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. They were very loud. They had a lot to say when you walked away. That should be the advertisement. True Religion. They have a lot to say when you walk away.
I'm still laughing at how fun that was. Hey guys, Adam Ray here for the About Last Night podcast. Hope you enjoyed that little ALN highlight, that little freebie tidbit. If you want to see more highlights, clips, animations, and episodes, click right there. Click right there and get all the free ALN goodies your heart can muster. And of course, subscribe to the show by clicking the ALN logo right there. Do that. It's easy. See you next time. Peace.